Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. As we read about the people approaching Mount Sinai and how the Lord was going to meet them there, his presence was going to descend upon the mountain. And as we read about the great preparations that had to take place in order for them to meet with God. And 3 days before he came, they had to wash their garments. They had to be careful not to touch the mountain. They were also not supposed to be engaged in any sexual activity. They were supposed to keep themselves pure and keep themselves prepared and consecrated to meet with the Lord. And certainly as we read about the Lord coming down on the mountain and the terrible sight that they would have seen with the fire and the smoke and the thundering and all of those things and the trumpet sound, certainly they would have had impressed on their minds what a grave matter it is, what a heavy thing it is to meet with the Lord and to be in the presence of God. And hopefully that's not lost on us New Testament believers. We have a special relationship with God in that we have the presence of God with us all the time. Everywhere that we go, we have the presence of God with us. In 2 Corinthians chapter 6, it says in verse 16, "Or what agreement has the temple of God with idols? For we are the temple of the living God, just as God said, I will dwell in them and walk among them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people." And there in the context, the Apostle Paul is saying you need to be very careful with who you hang out with, the types of people you come into contact with, because you are a special people. Why are you a special people? Because of the presence of God among you and in you. And so the presence of God brings with it a great responsibility and great gravity to it. This is the point that Paul makes in 1 Corinthians chapter 6 in connection to immorality. There, the people at Corinth were trying to justify sexual immorality. And saying, well, just as the body needs food, the body also needs sex, and therefore it's okay to get involved with prostitutes and things like that. And the Apostle Paul is very adamant. He says, no, you should be very careful in the way that you use your body because of the presence of God within your body. He says in verse 17, "But the one who joins himself to the Lord is one spirit with him. Flee immorality. Every other sin that a man commits is outside the body, but the immoral man sins against his own body. Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have from God, and that you are not your own?" And so he uses the presence of God in their body as a deterrent to sexual immorality, to say you should not be involved in those things because you have the presence of God within you. And that's not something to be taken lightly. And so hopefully as we read about the people approaching God there at Mount Sinai, hopefully we will have impressed on our minds that it is a wonderful, it's a joyful, a beautiful thing to walk in the presence of God. But at the same time, with it comes great responsibility. And hopefully we do it very soberly and recognize that the things that we get involved in, the things that we contact, are not something to be taken lightly, because we do take the presence of God with us everywhere that we go, and God's presence is holy, and therefore we are called to a holy life in connection to that. So hopefully our readings today will have that impressed on our minds. And with that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.